Unroyal body language. Wearing purple on the wrong day, and no ladies in waiting? It looks like Queen Camilla may be carving out her own path by breaking some of these royal protocols. In the royal family, PDA just simply isn't done. But Camilla, Queen Consort, has broken this royal protocol on more than one occasion. As noted by the Mirror, King Charles III and Camilla have been known to steal a kiss every now and then in public, and their new royal portrait upon Charles's ascension to the throne was particularly telling. In the snap in question, Charles and Camilla were joined by Prince William and Princess Catherine, who posed stoically for the camera. Charles, meanwhile, placed his arm around his wife, with the two of them engaging in a comfortable body language that is rare for members of the royal family, not to mention a monarch. Body language expert Judy James commented on the PDA between them, noting that their lack of formality showed a sense of, quote, unity, continuity, and strength. Sometimes, you simply need to connect with your partner, even if it's against the rules.
I have to admit, I have to put my hand up.
As the late Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip navigated their roles as the most senior royals, Philip, an otherwise man's man type of personality, did something that was unexpected for his gender. He took the back seat to his wife. As the longest-serving consort, Philip defined the role as supporter and spouse to the crown in a way that no one had done before him, and it certainly didn't go unnoticed. Upon his death, the New York Times noted just how groundbreaking it was that just 6 years into their marriage, Philip knelt in front of Elizabeth and said, "I, Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, do become your liege man of life and limb and of earthly worship. So help me God." After doing so, Philip made a point of always walking behind Elizabeth, indicating to the entire world that the 2-pace distance he maintained pointed to his respect for both his wife and the crown. The royal family has certainly changed since Philip's era. King Charles is not only divorced, but married to a woman who has been divorced herself and, of course, was the subject of intense scrutiny given her status as the other woman. Camilla, Queen Consort, may not have gotten the hint about walking behind her husband now that he is king, as there have been a number of moments where Charles and Camilla walk shoulder to shoulder. Given that they are such a photographed family, a ton of attention is paid to the clothing options chosen by the royal family, the royal women in particular. Certain traditions play into clothing choices, and royals such as Princess Catherine have often paid tribute with their wardrobe. But Camilla, Queen Consort, has other ideas. As noted by the international news, Camilla broke an unspoken fashion rule amid the 2022 Commonwealth Day celebrations. And the choice was certainly indicative of a woman carving her own path. Commonwealth Day is a big deal. Royals on this particular day typically stick to a color palette that nods to Great Britain: white, blue, or red. And Princess Catherine certainly got the memo. Wearing a blue coat dress with gorgeous detailing, Prince William's wife was the picture of patriotism, but not Camilla.
She carved her own role.
Instead of sticking with tradition, Camilla broke royal protocol when she wore purple to the day's events. Her coat dress was adorned with textural details, and she paired it with a coordinated hat for good measure. Breaking yet another unspoken protocol, Camilla's clothing choice was also a repeat outfit. She had previously worn it during an event in 2020. Clearly, she was determined to dress the way she saw fit. As it turns out, the members of the royal family are technically not allowed to sign autographs. Unlike celebrities, the royals do technically serve in a once governmental body, and there are concerns that apply to them versus other high-profile people. Namely, there is a concern that a royal's signature could be forged if they were to give out an autograph to an eager fan, according to the Mirror. This, in turn, could result in forgeries and inflated prices on otherwise gimmicky royal trinkets. Despite this rather understandable royal protocol, both Camilla, Queen Consort, and King Charles III broke this rule while attending an event in London. While at the 100 Club, famous for its legendary gigs, Camilla and Charles added their names to the nightclub's famed autograph graffiti wall. By doing so, their signatures joined the likes of The Jam, Oasis, and countless other rockers who have jumped up on stage. Their autographs might be well hidden among the others, but talk about rule breakers. Greeting a member of the royal family is big business. Oftentimes, the way in which you greet them has everything to do with their place in the line of succession. As King Charles III and Camilla, Queen Consort, are now the most senior members, You'll see Prince William and Princess Catherine greet them both with a kiss on either side of the cheek and a bow or curtsy. Greeting a lesser senior royal often consists of a handshake and some sort of bow or head nod, acknowledging their role within the system. Camilla, meanwhile, hasn't always followed this protocol, nor have the people around her. As noted by Express, Camilla and Eamon Holmes, a popular television figure in Britain, greeted each other with a kiss while reuniting in 2018, despite the rules that discouraged such affection. Holmes said of the Queen consort after their reunion, "I have had the opportunity to meet Camilla privately at functions on a number of occasions. She is approachable and incredibly friendly. Not only that, she's a darn good laugh. As I keep telling her, she is my favorite royal, though I'm not sure what her husband makes of that." The late Queen Elizabeth II had a number of royal protocols she expected people to follow. Well, some of those requirements are related to food. Not only was the Queen not a fan of wedge heels and had her own shoes broken in before she wore them, but she banned royal family members from eating shellfish and garlic, among other food groups. The rules that royals have to follow at dinner parties, and when it comes to food in general, are exhaustive. And as it turns out, not all the royals were so eager to jump on the banned food wagon. Camilla, Queen Consort, even addressed the lack of garlic in the food served to the royals while on tour. Camilla appeared on MasterChef Australia while in the country and told Judge Gary Megan that the exclusion of garlic in the food served to the royals was all to do with breath. No royal walkabout or interaction should be ruined by garlic breath, right?
I hate to say this, but garlic.
So garlic is a no-no.
Garlic is a no.
Though there are a number of royal families throughout Europe, Asia, Africa, and elsewhere, the British royal family certainly seems to be the most watched. Given their central status and the number of eyes on them at any given time, it's no wonder that members of the royal family often socialize with foreign leaders, dignitaries, and other international royals. As such, it's an unspoken protocol within the British royal family that its members speak more than one language. Unfortunately, Camilla, Queen Consort, doesn't follow this royal rule to the letter. As noted by Express, the late Queen Elizabeth studied French when she was young, and Prince Philip also spoke the language. All four of their children learned French, and Prince William has an impressive linguistic repertoire. Joining him is Meghan Markle, who speaks French, English, and Spanish. Camilla, on the other hand, speaks her native English and barely enough French to get by. As detailed by ITV, she once had to give a speech in French back in 2013 and was not looking forward to it. Though she studied at Paris's Institut Britannique, the speech was, as Camilla herself described it, rusty. Maybe someone should sign her up for Duolingo? It seems that every aspect of life for a royal has some sort of rule attached to it. From food to how to greet someone, royal protocol extends to just about everything. The use of nicknames, however, is an interesting topic. Giving and receiving a nickname as a member of the royal family is generally frowned upon, perhaps because it's so informal, everything the royal family is not. Despite this, many members of the royal family have nicknames for other family members, and Camilla, Queen Consort, is no different. She and King Charles have constantly referred to each other by pet names over the years, with the Indian Express further noting that their monikers extend to darling and Mabuba, which is Urdu for beloved. In fact, it was Charles and Camilla's nicknames for one another that first prompted questions about the nature of their relationship by Princess Diana. As noted by The Independent, Charles frequently called Camilla Gladys, and she called him Fred. This became a primary issue when Charles had a bracelet sent to Camilla with a G and F on it. Diana found the piece of jewelry in question, and according to royal biographer Andrew Morton, she was horrified to find the evidence of their more than friendly dynamic. Of course, we all know how that story played out. When we think about the royal family, quite a lot of pomp and grandeur come to mind. Any viewer of The Crown will tell you that every need of a royal is not only met, but exceeded by staff who wait on them hand and foot. Camilla, Queen Consort, however, is gearing up to change that. As noted by The Hill, the Queen Consort chucked an age-old tradition to the side when King Charles took the throne. Instead of hiring a full staff, she decided not to have ladies-in-waiting, aka hired staff who follow her around, tend to her needs, offer companionship, and more.
Deficient then? How else would you describe it when something is missing?
Gone are the days when the king and queen didn't interact with one another due to structured gender roles, as well as the time when a royal outfit had a million layers. And while those who came before her still bowed to the tradition, Camilla is breaking the protocols. In addition to not having ladies-in-waiting, the queen consort is said to only be employing 6 assistants and is decreasing their workload. It's implied that the queen consort's decision comes as she and Charles are set on modernizing the British monarchy, making it more palatable to the general public.